So I'm picturing in my head, it goes like this, right? She's at work and her friend Becky comes in one Monday morning and Becky had some Botox done. And our listener goes, oh, you look great. Botox looks great. Looks really, really good. And a couple of weeks later, Becky shows back up to the office and, I don't know, give me another, lips.
She wants some filler.
Some filler. Is that in the face or the lip?
Both.
Okay. So she walks back into the office and now she's got some filler in her lips. And our listener's like, okay, it's looking pretty good. Mm-hmm. And then a couple of weeks later, she comes to the office and she's got a nose job. And then she's had her ears done. And then she had her throat done. And then she's had everything done.
People normally call it a neck. I can't remember the last time I went to Atlanta Face and Body and said, fix my throat.
Yeah, I need that throat work.
Gotta become a throat goat.
And then at some point, Becky walks into the office and our listener says to Becky, hey, I wonder if Becky's coming in today. And Becky's like, no, it's me in here because she looks so different. So she was wondering to us on Friday, like, should I say something to my friend who's doing so many changes to her face that it just doesn't even look like her anymore?
And again, she hadn't asked her friend for any advice or any opinions. This is just what she's doing.
Yeah, so she wanted our opinions because of it's a delicate situation, obviously, and it's a coworker, but they become good friends, and so she feels like her appearance has changed so drastically that she literally can't tell who she is, but she don't want her to feel judged or shamed because she's not trying to judge her, but she's genuinely concerned. And I feel like our general consensus was if you're not asked for that information, you probably should not deliver it unless you are like extremely close friends, which I don't believe they exactly are.
So what?
People have body dysmorphia. They also have facial dysmorphia as well.
So what did she do over the weekend with our advice? Kristen has the follow-up email.
After hearing what you all had to say, I had originally decided to keep my thoughts to myself about her appearance. But I changed my mind after a conversation we had Friday evening. She started complaining about still being single despite going on lots of first dates. She typically finds guys on various dating apps, but none of them turned into anything more than a first date. So I asked to see her profile on these apps. She showed me, and the problem is obvious. The pictures she uses looks significantly different from her current appearance. She's using a photo from about 5 years ago. When I pointed this out, she vehemently disagreed. She thinks she looks nearly the same. She accused me of saying she looks old now. This is obviously not the change I'm talking about. So I decided to be honest and say her difference in appearance is due to the procedures and not aging. She totally disagreed and thinks it's the procedures that have kept her appearance from aging. So it seems she was doing this to try to maintain her looks and has no idea how it's done the opposite. I left the conversation there because it seemed like she was being very defensive. However, knowing this is obviously affecting her potential for a relationship, I feel bad that she doesn't see the truth.
So I don't know a lot about this industry, but it certainly feels like less than 100% truth when like women in their 20s are saying like, no, I get the Botox now so I don't have to deal with wrinkles in the future. Is that true?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the whole purpose of it, for sure. I mean, that's why I started doing neurotoxins. I started with Botox. I do Xeomin now. I don't know a lot about injectables, but I know enough. And I started doing it in my late 20s. And it's helped me to not, like, it doesn't fully prevent them, but my face isn't nearly as wrinkled as it would be had I never started.
Oh, yeah? Would you look like a Shar-Pei?
I probably. Working on this show and all the WTF moments, those 11s would be way, way deeper. Thank you very much.
So I don't know really what you do with this. I mean, she doesn't see it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think for the person who got the plastic surgery, I think they're eventually going to have to come to their own conclusions about their appearance. And as you guys know, I recently got a nose job, and I was telling somebody about how it's affected how I view myself and my appearance and my beauty ever since I got it done. And I think what most people don't go in expecting when they have plastic surgery is that half of the emotional process is also accepting that this is just how you look. There's only so much you can change. Your anatomy is your anatomy. And I think a lot of people go into plastic surgery thinking, I'm going to go under the knife and it's going to fix me. I'm going to look like a different person. But the reality is you're just going to look like yourself, but different. And it seems like this person has gone down a path of trying to turn into a different person because they don't like the way they look for whatever reason. And it's turned into them now looking like a worse version of the person that they were. And it's very, very sad. So I think this is a lesson she's going to learn the hard way, especially in dating. Like, people aren't going to be kind and gentle with you. So I think she's just going to have to figure out that she needs to stop on her own, but she has to come to that conclusion by herself.
The nose job you got, I would consider slight. So psychologically and confidence-wise, has it done anything, or has there been any surprises since you got anything done?
No, for sure. I mean, like, I just got a bunch of wedding photos back from this weekend, and it's like the first thing that I noticed is I'm like, oh my God, my mom just sent me a side profile photo. And normally my nose is the first thing that I would see because I had a very prominent nose, and I always just felt like it sort of threw off my face that I like. I'm like, I think I have a great face. I just think that my nose sometimes just totally throws off the balance of it. And she just sent me this photo that normally I probably would have hated because it's a side pic. And I'm like, I look pretty good in that picture, actually.
Okay.
So,
All right, so
for me, it's been a positive thing, but it's definitely, you have to relearn your face, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes seeing my face in pictures is a little jarring. So I'm like, oh, I look different, but I like the way it looks.
okay.
The Bert Show.